Okay. Hi everyone. My name is Ernie, and I'm going to present our work on face forgery detection, or known as deepfake detections. And this work was conducted by two of my wonderful colleagues, Huang and Yue-Hua. And I'm here just present this work to you guys. And this work is advised by Professor Jun-Cheng, who is joining us on site right here, okay, and Professor Hua. So let's jump into it. Okay. See. So what is deepfakes? Deepfakes are fake videos that are generated by deep neural networks, and they are not actually footage of real words, and they are very dangerous. Just imagine a random bad guy who can use your face and make you say anything he wants or do anything he likes in videos formats. And that put your reputation in risk and cause a lot of legal issue. And many celebrities have been victims of deepfakes, like President Obama and this Mr. Bean on Donald Trump, or even this Chinese Elon Musk. And by the way, maybe one of you may have seen this before. And this gentleman is not actually looks like Elon Musk. He's just using deepfakes. So don't be fooled by them. Right. So there are two common types of deepfakes. First, the face replacement. The face replacement puts a target face on arbitrary videos. And imagine a bad guy puts your daughter's face onto a video of kidnapped babies. And he's crying and asking you to save her. And that's scary, right? You can be fraud for that. And second, the face reenactment can change your lips according to your given speeches, and that can make you say some controversial contents in the videos, and definitely want to prevent that. And as many of you guys, researchers, which is very professional, I believe, they think that can we just train the CNN classifier, a very easy one, to tell if the video is real or fake? And yes, we have tested that. And the accuracy can often goes up to 99%, so 100%. But what's the problem here? Deepfake videos are not cats or dogs, which would not evolve into a new form factor in that is a century. The deepfakes will evolve, and it is in a crazy speed. Every 1 to 2 years, next generation deepfakes will come out, and those naive binary classifier fails immediately. So if you are Mark Zuckerberg and you want to kind of like control the contents on Facebook, want to employ a defect detector to moderate the content of Facebook, that'll be a problem because you don't know the videos on the internet will be generated by, like VAE or GANs or different models. And it could be through a lot of image compression, video compression that you cannot control. So what's the solution? So in this field, a researcher would deliberately reserve a type of deepfakes. Like right here, we reserve like face swaps and excluding it from the training data and test these deepfake videos in a zero shots manners. Okay. So for example, if you give this data and we give the original videos the positive labels, meaning this is real, it's pristine videos, and those three types of deepfakes are given like negative labels, and wish to train a detector using this data and has the ability to discriminate between the original videos and these novel face swap type of deepfakes. Okay, everyone with me? So you can even take this further. You can even train a classifier on some, for example, like 2019 deepfake data sets and test it on the 2020 deepfake data sets. So previous work have tried to only look at some small parts of human faces. So deepfake detector they train would not overfit too much on the known types of deepfakes, like this lip forensics from CVPR 2021. It's only focused on the lips regions and use a pre-trained lip reading model as a feature extractor. Okay, and other works use like strong regularization to prevent overfitting, such as only finding some final layers of large pre-trained models, large powerful models, but they still fail upon some novel types of deepfakes. So our work is primarily based on two brilliant Japanese and who say that if we don't use deepfake data in training, then we won't overfit them, right? So they dig a little bit into the deepfake data and found some common artifacts by kind of like human heuristic that can be easily synthesized, such as these eyebrows duplicates and boundary artifact is very obvious, right? And color inconsistency or some frequency inconsistencies. So synthesizing this artifact is straightforward, and we only need a set of real face videos. We don't need defect videos, so we don't train on them, don't overfit on them. And you can apply some kind of like RGB shifting onto it, or just enforce some Gaussian blurs on it. And its advantage of this is that we can synthesize fake videos with very subtle artifact, which makes it very difficult to detect, but it's good for our training. Or you can just make it with obvious artifact like this one we use for visualizations, and all by our will. Okay, so after applying those augmentations, they blend the original videos with augmented ones. So it can simulate like kind of like swapping and boundary artifacts in the real defect videos. Yes. And any augmented or blended video will be labeled as fake videos. So we can train a binding classifier together with the original real videos with the positive labels. Okay, so now is the most important part. The performance of the previous mentioned self-blended image is good, but here we raise some really important questions with different ratio of alpha blending. Like here, you can see that with should we just simply consider all of them using a simple fake label? So we can see that with a larger ratio on the augmented faces, it will be more obvious to find that the video is synthesized. I believe everyone can agree with me with that. And furthermore, in addition to the blending parameters and all these colors, frequencies, boundary domains parameters, they come for free, and we don't want to waste that. So we propose to make a great use of it as an auxiliary objective to help the main classification accuracy. So in the big picture, here's our contribution. First, we categorize the augmentation strengths into 4 levels, from the lightest, subtlest manipulation to the most intense and most obvious ones. We also include level 0 for no augmentation, which means this is real video. And these classes are used in this auxiliary classification task right here. We train a classifier head for each augmentation domain, including color, frequency, and boundary. And second, remember the blending ratio talk about? We categorize it into 5 categories, from completely using the original image to 50-50 to completely using the augmented images. And this also results into an additional classification head right here. And most importantly, is this defect detecting real or fake classifier head. Okay, so here's some mathematical stuff, so pay attention to it. So specifically in our data synthesis pipeline, we have a predefined intensity range RC for each domain here. So this will be used to normalize the raw strengths of SC for each augmented sample. So for example, if we set the maximum RGB shift to 20, that means from in the RGB channels value from 0 to 255, we only can shift these like 20s. And then we will divide the final sum of RGB shifts by 60 because we have 3 channels, right? Then 2 threshold, TL and TI, will define the range of lights, semi-intense, and intense augmentation strengths, as you can see at these sample figures. Okay, from lights to intense. So say we set this threshold to 0.3 and 0.7, and we have RGB shifts of 11, 7, and 6. So the normalized strength will be 0.4, which lies in the semi-intense regions, and we use this in the final classifications. And for blending the original and augmented image, we follow the previous work to use a simple alpha blending. I think most of you is not strange to these equations here. And we use together with a label 0 indicating the real images. Our auxiliary classifier head need to predict the correct blending ratio given an arbitrary images. finally, our overall loss is the sum of the cross entropy loss for the aforementioned manipulation level classification and blending ratio classification, and most important, the defect detector loss. And we use focal loss to further enhance the model performance on difficult fake samples. So you can see we have a penalty parameter gamma in the main loss here. All right. So finally, let's take a look at our experiments. We train our defect detector on the real videos. It's important, real videos from Face Forensic++. And remember that our method do not require any defect data. So although these data sets provide 4 types of defects, right here, 4 types of defects, we only use them for evaluation, and we will see the result later. And we also evaluate on more recent defect datasets like CelebDF, which contains many defects of celebrities. And DFDC, this is a defect dataset collected by Facebook Research. And finally, DFD dataset is collected by Google Research, right? So in face forensics, in data sets evaluation, we generally outperform or compare with existing methods. And as you can see, these results are actually quite saturated. So many of this is 99% or 100%. So I think the most important part is the cross dataset evaluation, which we train on probably 2019 datasets, and we can test it on 2020, 2021, 2022. And in this evaluation, our method also performed better than the baselines and obtained quite a margin on some datasets. And please note that some of the previous methods use the defect data, the real defect data, and we didn't use any of the defect data for training. And we only use the real videos and their augmentations types in Face Forensic++. But our defect detectors still generalize well to various kind of defect data sets. Okay, you can see here. So finally, we also use t-SNE to visualize the final feature of our detector. And you can tell that our auxiliary task, with our auxiliary tests, our features are not only clearly separated according to their blending ratio right here, and the real samples are well separated from the real and fake ones. Real samples are those purple dots on the left, which make the classification really easy. And also there's a t-SNE for different manipulation strengths, and every group is well separated from each other. And the features of a real sample is also clearly different from the ones of fake samples. So here's our conclusion, and I will not read them out because the time is limited. So thank you very much, and welcome any kind of question. Thank you.
Thank you, our speaker, for a wonderful presentation. So any questions? Any questions you want to ask?
Thanks for your wonderful presentation. I have a question about the t-SNE part. So why is your self blended augmentation like, why is that so separated in the real and those ratio parts compared to the left graph?
Okay, so the right part is those 2 brilliant Japanese research we talk about, and the left part is ours. And we deliberately use those blending ratio as kind of classification task. So the detector knows this image belongs to some kind of blending ratios. But in their methods, they don't do that. They only train it to tell if the video is synthesized or real video. So you can see the purple dots here and the other samples are actually quite separated because that is one of the training goal. But apart from that, their method cannot tell to which ratio it used to produce these samples. Okay, make sense?
Yeah. Thanks for your answers.
Okay, thanks.
Also have another question about, your goal of the classification is to find out the real faces compared to those forgery
Yes.
methods. So therefore you try to use these kind of self-blended methods to do augmentation. So if the goal of your detection are changed, would you suggest for using another blending techniques for augmentation?
Okay, it really depends on test because in this test, it's not hard to get a high score if your training data and testing data are IID. But in here, we really want it to be generalizable. So instead of letting the neural network find the features from training data, we kind of like heuristically select some of the common and obvious artifacts and synthesize it by ourselves. Okay, so if your task want to do this, you have to first you require that your task is really requires you to have a good transferability, and second, so you got to have the ability to find some kind of a common artifacts that is visible to your human eyes and try to synthesize to see if you can get better generalizability.
Okay, thank you.
Cool.
Questions. Can I look at the experiment result? Is the table? Yeah, this one. So it seems that those state of yeah made without looking for the defect image, they can perform better than those made with the data set have this kind of fake image. Why? Could you tell us the reason why?
This is because, like I said, that the training defects is really different from testing defects. The training maybe comes from the GANs, generated from GANs in 2020, and the testing data maybe comes from like stable diffusion from 2023. So if you want to train it like naively, you cannot get good results on the generalizability to test data. But if we just focus on some heuristically find features, and it gives a better result. So it's kind of like a spatial task. Cool.
It's about the generalities. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that this method is quite interesting. So have you have an ablation study about the mask? Right now you need to have a mask, right? And then you do the branding. So if you enlarge the mask, do you or stream the mask, do you affect your performance?
Okay, I don't think we have like kind of ablation studies on the size of the mask, but we do have other kind of ablation study which can provide you with insights of a lot of hyperparameters. Okay, but I think that is interesting directions. Maybe we can work on it. Yeah.
So we have several attributes. For example, you can control the color, the frequency.
Yes.
Which one is more effective?
Which one? I have to refer to the papers.
Okay.
Yes, so I cannot answer the questions right
I
now.
can check it. No
Yeah,
problem.
but I can discuss you after this session. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. If we do not have a question, let's thank our speaker again.